Good afternoon. It's Friday. Getting ready for Palm Sunday, getting ready for Holy Week to follow. I'm going to move around a little bit because I want you to see some of what's all set up. We are ready for Palm Sunday. As you can see, we've got our big banner up there in front of the rood cross, the rood beam, and we're ready to go. Also, just in case you didn't get the message, we have palm branches. We blessed them on Wednesday. Here's a few of them. We've got plenty outside in front of the front door, as well as others in front of the office door. So if you need to use the handicap access ramp, you can go there. So we're ready. We're ready for Palm Sunday. This Sunday, 10 a.m. Come back to the URL we gave you for Trinity's YouTube channel, and you too can join us as we worship together and celebrate the beginning of Holy Week. Just a few announcements. It is 3:27 by my watch, which means I have to go home for social hour, which is at 4 o'clock. That's a Zoom chat. If you don't have information about that, go back and check the email that Jan sent out to the congregation earlier this afternoon. Sunday morning, we gather for our usual full slate of activities, all of it virtual, but all of it full. The forum on Sunday at 9, again, another Zoom chat. I invite you to that because we're going to talk about Holy Week. We're going to talk about Holy Week as it's normally celebrated, and we're going to talk about the ways in which we're going to celebrate it this year. Not quite the same. Then worship at 10, again, YouTube channel or Facebook. Some of you had a hard time finding it. Just to be clear, if you go to my page on Facebook, I'm streaming it from there. If you have either access to the group or the Facebook page, I have a link from there to my own page. And so I hope you can find me. And once you find me, make it a watch party. That would be truly, truly grand. So worship at 10 here on YouTube or over on Facebook. Also, I remind you, if you have a prayer book, have it handy because it's easier probably to follow the service that way than it is to print out a whole bulletin, 20 pages, 22 pages with the announcements, and then follow along on a printed sheet, which is lovely. The whole service is there, but it's a little bit, it's a bit more paper than you might need to spend. If you have a prayer book, if you have a hymnal, the hymns we're using are straight from our hymnal right now. The service itself entirely from the prayer book. We start with the Liturgy of the Palms on page 270. Then we go on to a Rite to service, picking up with the Nicene Creed, page 358, and prayers of the people. Anyhow, just follow prayer book service. It's pretty straightforward. So there's that. And then, that's right. We have forum at 9. We have worship at 10, and then 11:15 or so after worship. And maybe you want to duck out early. Maybe you want to leave worship and go join coffee hour before we celebrate communion, because after all, it's, I know, not entirely pleasant for some of you to watch the Mass being celebrated and not being able to partake. I get that. It's a hard thing. So go to coffee hour. You got to bring your own coffee, though, because Julie Lear was scheduled for coffee hour this weekend. She tells me she's not bringing anything. So it's on you. Coffee hour. Sunday, 11:15 or so. I think if you click on it early, you can just go in, wait for anybody else to join you. So there's that. Holy Week does begin with Palm Sunday. So we'll say more about that in the next few days. Certainly on Sunday, it's in our announcements that went out in the weekly email Jan sends out. But we are celebrating Holy Week in its entirety. It'll be all different for sure, but it will be observed. The Maundy Thursday celebration is at 6 p.m. We begin at 6. You might want to have something to eat earlier, just because we would normally have had some food that to remind us of the kinds of food Jesus and his disciples ate before we actually went into our proper liturgy. No foot washing again this week, but maybe we'll talk about some hand washing. That's Thursday. Friday, Good Friday, one service only on Good Friday this year, Stations of the Cross. We'll do the stations here as opposed to across the street at St. Helens. Do the stations here using these beautiful stations that we have here in Trinity all through the year. So come back at noon on Friday for our liturgy for Good Friday. The Great Vigil of Easter, I've kind of joked, it's really kind of the pretty good vigil of Easter because it's not going to be the big, grand thing that it always is, but it's going to be a service in which we gather in the dark in the darkening hours on Saturday night, starting at 8. We'll recall some of the story that lies in our tradition. We'll talk about a couple of readings from the Old Testament, and then we'll celebrate Easter. It'll be a lovely moment when the lights come on and we indulge some Easter festivities. So if you have given something up for Lent this year, have it at hand on Saturday, because after our service is over on Saturday, your Lenten fast is technically over. Then again, of course, there's Easter Sunday, and that's a bigger deal for a lot of folks, for most folks, frankly, on some of these midweek services, though for us, they are the crucial, literally the crucial liturgies of the year. Nevertheless, Easter Sunday has a special place in our hearts. We'll have Easter Sunday here. I'm told I should be looking for the Alleluias, because I know we have them. We set them aside before Lent, and they're here somewhere still hiding. So stay tuned. We'll see what we can do with that. All right, thanks, everybody. I look forward to seeing you. Some of you at social hour at 4 o'clock. Been told that we may have a special guest joining us. Nola from Nicaragua may join us this week for social hour. Wouldn't that be a grand thing? But it's good to see all of you when we get together. So again, that's a little under a half hour now. So I better close this up and head home. Steve.